Everyone knows you can't mess with the Hulk or make him angry.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
A character often hailed as one of the most powerful in comic universe is celebrated for his incredible strength and indestructibility. But what would happen if a nuclear war wipes out humanity, leaving the Avengers dead and the Hulk as the sole survivor? Would Bruce continue to be a hero? Or would this dark timeline lead him to another path? In today's video, we immerse ourselves in the aftermath of this apocalyptic scenario where the world has crumbled, heroes are no more, and the Hulk stands alone. Maestro's origin. As he fiercely battles a sentinel along with other heroes, bliss fills Banner's soul. Life seems pretty perfect with Betty and his sons. However, everything takes a bizarre turn when the Hulk awakens from a simulation in a mysterious facility, encountering AIM forces led by an elderly MODOK. The villain reveals Earth's tragic fate. A nuclear fallout from World War III has led to the demise of all of Earth's heroes. MODOK explains to the Hulk that he has no memory of the events leading up to this point, as they seized individuals whose bodies made them benefit from radiation, opting for them over the classic heroes. In shock, the Hulk needs to see this apocalyptic world for himself and is devastated by the fate of humanity. The very people he and the Avengers protected time and time again couldn't be protected from themselves. Hulk continues to seek confirmation of this devastating truth as he journeys across the ruined United States, visiting landmarks like Mount Rushmore, the Hoover Dam, and Las Vegas. By the Jefferson Memorial, the Hulk spots a young boy going through a trapdoor. Machine Man and a bunch of other survivors in a bunker greet the Hulk and teach him about dystopia, formerly known as New York, which is ruled by none other than the Maestro. Meanwhile, an old Rick Jones, surrounded by relics that you might recognize, Spider-Man's mask, Thor's hammer, and Magneto's helmet to name a few. His granddaughter informs him his old friend, Oscar the Grouch, is back. Upon arriving in dystopia, the Hulk is immediately flagged by authorities and summoned by the Maestro himself. Maestro turns out to be the demigod, Hercules. Hercules and the Hulk, old rivals, decide the best way to greet each other is with a good old sparring session. The two clash and exchange blows. Hercules, with a slight demigod edge, smashes the Hulk beneath the ground. Astonished, the Hulk is approached by Devoid, who tells him Rick Jones wants to see him. After a few beers, the Hulk expresses his anger towards the very people he used to protect. Ordinary people destroyed the world. Why would he or anyone care about them now? This is a major turning point for him. His outlook has completely changed and sounds like Dr. Doom, ruling people with an iron hand. Devoid takes the Hulk to Alchemax, a long-abandoned lab from a time where science still mattered. After exploring, he strikes the Motherlode, discovering what he needed to create an army of mechanical dogs and clones. I think sometimes we forget how smart Bruce Banner is and how he can just stroll into a lab and create a small but really formidable army. This ignited the war for dystopia, unleashing his army of monstrous war dogs to crush anyone in his way. Hercules, his old ally, emerged from the shadows, his heart heavy with the burden of their shared past. Hercules was not going to give up without a fight. Few can go toe-to-toe with the Hulk, but with some demigod strength, Hercules throws the Hulk around like a ragdoll, really similar to how the Hulk gave Loki a beating in that Avengers movie. A titanic clash erupted, Hercules landing blow after blow, with the Hulk unable to channel his rage and become stronger after nearly delivering a fatal blow. Banner yields and passes up his offer to join him for some hospitality and peace. After taking some time to plot his next move, Bruce, cunning and ruthless, outsmarts Hercules. Exploiting Herc's lust for pleasure, he unleashed Vapor, a shape-shifting creature infused with gamma radiation, who poisoned Hercules with arsenic. Fearing any threat, Hulk blasted both Vapor and Hercules in a tragic twist, ending their lives in a single, brutal act. With a staged funeral for Hercules, Bruce offered Dystopia another chance, urging them to submit to his rule, but defiance remained. Unleashing his war dogs again, he faced a prepared resistance equipped with X-Men weaponry built by Forge, designed to weaken him. Engulfed in flame, Hercules is not done yet and is ready for another round with the Hulk. Herc, with unbelievable strength, is too much for the Hulk to put down, but is destroyed by one of Banner's followers, the Minister, with Forge's weapon. Now the Hulk's eyes are set on Rick Jones, who attempted to kill him. After some deep words from Rick of how Bruce has become ruthless, just like his father, Rick sets off an explosive in another attempt to end the Hulk. Surviving the blast and victorious, Banner decides he needs a new name, claiming the title Maestro. Maestro, War and Pax. After some time as the new ruler of Dystopia, Maestro continues to seek control of the new apocalyptic world. Ruthless and even more removed from his former heroic self, Maestro destroys all that oppose him, even children. Maestro devises a plan to continue his rule and eliminate division in what is left of humanity under a new movement he dubs Pax. As Maestro and his army approach the city to introduce himself and the conditions of his new rule, he is ambushed. Maestro easily handles the army, but is being watched by a mysterious woman in some water. Don't worry, we'll see more of her later. Frustrated by Defiance and his minister being held hostage, Maestro decides to take out Machine Man once and for all. Machine Man puts up an impressive fight, but is ultimately overpowered. Fooled by a copy, Maestro takes another explosion head-on, and Machine Man lives another day. Meanwhile, the Pantheon, a formidable group of heroes, once comrades of the Hulk, join forces with the infamous Dr. Doom. Their common adversary? The menacing Maestro. Their audacious plan? To revert Maestro back to his more vulnerable Banner form, enabling them to either imprison him or eliminate the tyrant completely. The stage was set in Dystopia, where Maestro, surrounded by his old friends from the Pantheon, presented an intriguing proposal involving Pax. Suspicion lingered as the Pantheon appeared surprisingly receptive to his idea. Nevertheless, Maestro played along until they reached the group's ship. Their mission? To strike the AIM facility that held Maestro captive. Tensions heightened, climaxing when Maestro, with his cunning tactics, seized the Pantheon's leader, Atalanta, as a hostage. The demand for the truth echoed throughout the air. However, before Maestro could unravel their true motives, high-powered knockout gas flooded the cabin. All went according to plan. The Pantheon had anticipated this, wearing nose filters for their protection. As Maestro lay in a large tank, the Pantheon deliberated on how to trigger his transformation back into Banner. The empath Paris was chosen to delve into Maestro's psyche. When Maestro woke at the Pantheon's old headquarters, he found himself entangled in a surreal illusion, confronting traumatic moments from his past. Enraged by the intrusion, Maestro lashed out, only to awaken in the real world. Breaking free, he engaged the Pantheon in a fierce battle, but a surprising turn revealed the illusionary nature of his mother's presence. As Maestro reverted to Banner, Rebecca shot him in the head, an elaborate ruse. The Pantheon preserved Banner's body in a durable duranium, akin to adamantium and vibranium. Meanwhile, Banner underwent a therapeutic session with his mind with Doc Samson. Maestro exploited Banner's vulnerabilities, weaving a grim narrative of betrayal by loved ones. The Avengers' quest to weaken him was portrayed as fear of his true potential. Breaking free from Duranium, Maestro sought vengeance, claiming Atalanta's life. In a final desperate act, the Pantheon deployed 2 missile strikes, one aimed at AIM, the other the Pantheon base. As the heroes faced their demise, Maestro observed from a distance. Following the Pantheon's downfall, Maestro returned to Dystopia, finding Doom seated on his throne. Instead of a climactic battle, an unexpected turn unfolded. A handshake between Doom and Maestro. Doom and Maestro share a feast together, but Maestro, with his incredible mind set on absolute dominance, tricks Doom and poisoned his wine. Maestro, disappointed in his adversary, explains he was surprised another genius like Doom would fall for the same trick as Hercules. However, Doom did foresee this betrayal and consumed an antitoxin before the meal. The two battle, with Doom giving him everything he has, the power of 1,000 lightning storms hurled at Maestro. In a relentless clash of wits and power, Maestro attempted to strip Doom of his armor using electromagnets. But just as victory seemed inevitable, Dr. Doom recovered, vanishing by teleporting away with a matter transmitter like something out of Star Trek. World War M. Just like the Hulk, Abomination was being kept in a simulation. Freed from AIM, Abomination roamed peacefully in his new post-apocalyptic reality, until mistaken for Maestro by the Submariner, forcing him to defend himself. Sharing a common disdain for Maestro, Abomination and Submariner decide to join forces. Opting for an unconventional approach, they enlisted the Human Torch to unleash a nova flame, creating a city-wide crater during Maestro's inspection of AIM wreckage. Maestro, undeterred, pursued Torch towards the Pacific Ocean, discovering the underwater city of Pacifica. Maestro, suspecting Submariner's involvement, followed Torch, leading him straight to Namor. In a fierce battle, Maestro fought a colossal squid using its tentacles as a weapon and inadvertently crushing Namor's family. Reflecting on his past, Maestro pondered the toll of his previous rampages. Namor vanished from sight, lunging towards Maestro. Abomination and Torch joined the fray, only to disappear as well. The trio materialized at Castle Doom, where their host, Dr. Doom, awaits their arrival. In Maestro's absence, Dystopia's minister, unsupportive of Maestro, was kidnapped by Rick Jones and the Resistance. The minister, believing in Doom's ability to defeat Maestro, proposed an alliance. Frail from his battles and in a wheelchair, Doom suggests an alliance with Abomination, Namor, and Torch. Returning to Dystopia and Alchemax's building, Maestro fell into the trap set by Namor and Abomination. Namor unleashed a colossal whale named Gigantor. However, the plan unraveled as Gigantor wreaked havoc. Maestro attacked the eye of Gigantor, causing it to eventually flee. In the aftermath, Maestro rescues Abomination from drowning, showing some mercy, vowing with Abomination to make Namor pay for the deaths of his battle. Returning to Castle Doom, they ended up imprisoned. Creatively, Maestro changed back to his human form, squeezing through the bars to free himself and Abomination. Working surprisingly well together, Maestro and Abomination faced Namor and the Doombots, and escalated tensions when Doom revealed his new battle armor to help him fight against Maestro. Abomination hacked into Doom's computer, and in control of the Human Torch, he unleashes his Nova Flame, destroying Castle Doom and everyone but Maestro within it. Contemplating his kingdom's survival amid recent challenges, Maestro reflected on the paradox of villains conquering the world, but failing to consider the responsibility of protecting the people they once stepped on to attain power. Continuing to reflect on his time with the Avengers, Defenders, and his fallen enemies that once stood to protect people, he concludes that in the end, groups aren't necessary. Under Maestro's rule, his people will grovel in front of him, and with his superior strength and wits, Maestro doesn't need anybody.